welcome back. As you can tell, we're making it back out to the sawmill, and you wouldn't know it, but the golf cart is performing better than it ever has, and I'm not gonna lie, this thing is a rocket to the point where I think I need to start wearing a helmet. So good day out here, not just because we're going to cut wood, but also because we got the old golf cart really ripping. So anyways, we got out here in a hurry. Kind of a brisk day out here, not really the nicest spring day. Looking around here, we haven't lost any trees in the recent windstorm, and my logs are still piled there, so all is good, and hopefully all ends good. Anyways, let's head on in. So what we're doing today is obviously cutting some wood, and you probably saw in my last videos I got some of the logs that I had left over from last year, from that big pile up yonder. I got them piled up here with my Coyote tractor. Some of you guys asked me, why are these logs so small, and why are you even cutting logs out of this small? Well, the reality is I don't waste anything around here, and these are the tops of some of the trees that I cut up, so these are sort of the leftovers. And I didn't want to cut them into firewood because I got endless supply of that already. So why not make it into whatever it can give me? You have a look at this log here. Well, that's probably not going to give me much. So with the exception of that log, even things like this, these are probably going to give me 1x3s for strapping, or some of the bigger ones will give me a single 4x4. So at the very least, I'm going to get something out of it. And even if the logs are kind of old and probably got some bugs in them, they're not going to go to waste. I'll use them for outdoor projects that don't really require too much aesthetic value. At least something to put a nail into if I need a board here and there. So that's what I'm up against. That's why I got all these logs piled in here, and even if they're not going to win any beauty pageants, they're useful to me nonetheless. So as I mentioned, we're going to cut some wood today. I got the HM130 behind me. Get it fired up. As you can tell, I already got a log on the platform ready to go. And many of you guys out there have given me some suggestions as to what I can do to make life easier in terms of the layout here, and I do appreciate that. Keep that coming. I'm still learning, as many of you guys are, and so if I can make this setup more efficient and maybe make it better for me so I can get out here and cut year round, well, all the better for me. So keep those suggestions coming. I'm happy to hear it. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get in there, get things set up, and then I'm going to tell you one little tip that sort of dictates what I make out of each log. One little thing that I think about before I start cutting, and I'll fill you in on that in just a second. But going to head on in, get on set up, and then I'll fill you in. Okay, let's see what we got going on here today. Well, I think, oh yeah, we got fuel in there. There's check one. If you can get the cab back on there, get on there. So check one is good. Check two. Dip my finger in there, I can still feel water, so I know that's good. We did have some freezing, and so hopefully that didn't cause too many issues. Check 4 or 3, tension, and I should have untensioned that actually before I left for the day last time, but I didn't. So we'll get out the old torque wrench, slide on over here. 25 foot-pounds off of there, so that's good. I got a little perch up here I keep that at so I don't misplace it. Other than that, blade's in place, engine's good to go, it's got fuel in it, blade is tensioned. Last thing I like to do, because I don't know if this engine's got a low engine oil level alarm or anything, I like to check the oil, and there is some, so we're good there. Get that threaded back on properly. Get on there. I find this, there we go. This dipstick, if you cross thread it, you're gonna hate life. I think I've said that before, so yeah, I always like to take my time. Anyways, I think we're good to go. I'm gonna stop talking, fire this up, cut a little wood, and then I'll fill you in. All right, guys, well, that is exactly the process, and you guys have seen me do that many times before. As you can see, I ended up with a 1x4 and a 4x4. The real question is, why did I decide to choose those two sizes of lumber? So when I'm trying to build something, I typically come up with a bit of a design. That design is ultimately which leads me to a material list. I sit down and I write out a material list for all these projects you see going on here, because I don't have an unlimited supply of large diameter logs. As you guys can see behind me, these logs are not overly big. Yes, I have big ones out here in the bush. And when I say bush, I mean the red pine plantation. I do have big ones out here. They tend to be around the periphery where it gets lots of sun, nutrients, and water. But I don't have a huge number of them. And so I have to be selective in what lumber I use from what log. If I have a whole bunch of 2x10s I need and they're going to be really long, well, I got to be very, very careful that I don't misuse one of my big logs for small lumber. Because if I do that too many times, I'm going to run out of big trees and I'm going to be shortchanged on the 2x10s that I can make. So with that in mind, you got to take an inventory of what you have. For me, I have a pretty good idea what's out around me. For the most part, I probably have 70% that are 8 or 10 inches in size or less, talking diameter. And the last 30% is probably a mixture of larger trees, somewhere over 10 inches. What does that mean to me? Well, that means whenever I have a big piece of lumber, I'm going to purposely look for a big log, big tree. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to make sure that the only thing coming out of that tree, ultimately a log, will be big lumber. When I say big lumber, I'm talking like wide lumber. 2x10s. For some of you, that might mean 2x12s or bigger. For me, big lumber is basically 2x8s and above. I have to set aside trees in my bush, logs in my pile, to make big lumber. So if I see something that's big, set it aside. If I see a tree out there that's big, set it aside, mark it. Keep it for when you need the big material, the big lumber. Back to inventory. You guys can see behind me here, this is kind of a mixed match sized material. It's relatively small. As you can tell there's my hands. This is probably 5 inches across. This would ultimately not make a big piece of lumber, that's obvious. You are probably at most going to get a single 4x4 out of this if you're lucky. Use small wood for small dimensional lumber. Okay, so make small lumber, 1 by something, 1x2, 1x3, 1x4, 2x4, make all that out of small lumber. Save the bigger lumber. I don't even know if I have one in here. I guess for today that's bigger. Save the bigger diameter logs for bigger lumber. I know this isn't overly big, but for this pile, this is about as big as I'm getting. Don't cut 1x3 strapping out of your largest diameter logs in your pile. Save this stuff, set it off to the side, hold on to it for the larger material that you're going to need for your project. Small logs, small dimensional sizes. Large logs, save it for large dimensional sizes. That's my main tip. Okay, and how you're going to figure out what exactly you need is to put it on paper. Get that material list put down. If you need 10 2x8x12s, well, now you know. You can look, lay out what logs are going to give you that, and then start off cutting your material list that way. Now, in addition to my projects, which, as I mentioned, have a material list and very specific size lumber that I'm going to need to be cut, I actually keep somewhat of a house list of lumber that I like to keep handy back at my shop and around the place, just so when I'm building various things, I have some basic dimensional lumber available. How I get that dimensional lumber is sort of the extra cut. So let's say I was building a project and I'm cutting a whole bunch of 2x10s, and I end up with extras on the log that are not going to make a 2x10. I use those extras to make that house list of lumber. Sometimes I make strapping 1x3s, sometimes I make 2x2, sometimes 2x4s, etc., etc. I make an endless supply of that because ultimately I'm always going to be doing siding, which will use strapping. I'm always going to be probably building something with 2x4s, so I keep that handy. And I'm always going to need stuff like 4x4s, and so I cut that and I keep that handy as sort of my house stock list. I get that, as I mentioned, from all the offcuts from the larger dimensional lumber that I'm cutting for building projects. So getting back to that log you just saw me cut here, the question thus becomes, why did I cut a 4x4 and a 1x4? Well, the reality was that log was too small terms of diameter to make any type of 2x6 material. If I could have made a 2x6, I would have made it, because that is the maximum size I could have got out of that log. But because I couldn't make it, I made the next house size lumber that I'm going to keep on hand for various building projects. The next size down that I could get from that log was a 4x4. I could get one out of it based on its diameter. Thus I made one 4x4, and I was left with a little bit of extra, so why waste it? I made a 1x4, which I tend to use for strapping and various other small projects that aren't structural. So to end off here, make yourself a little house list of lumber sizes that you tend to use. For me, I use 4x material, 4x4s. Sometimes I'll use 4x6s. I'll also use all kinds of 1x material, 1x3s, 1x4s for strapping, and the odd time 1x6 if I'm doing some flooring or something like that. I also use 2x material, which many of you do. 2x4s are typically what I tend to use. So make yourself a little house list, sizes you're commonly using, so that if you don't have a project on the go, you can be out here still at the sawmill. You don't have to be building or cutting just for a building project. You can cut to keep stuff on hand, so that next time you want to build something, you got a bit of a stockpile. You're not necessarily having to run out to the bush with a chainsaw and find a tree to cut down to mill into lumber. So that's just about my 2 cents for today. I don't know how much of that 2 cents is actually worth to you, but use it as you will. If you guys have any questions at all, make sure you put it down below. As always, I appreciate all you guys commenting on my videos. I like to hear all the projects you're doing as well. I've got a big pile of logs here, and I've got a sawmill behind me, so I think I know what I'm doing the rest of the evening. Guys, hope you're all well out there. Be sure to come on back next time, and I will see you then.